What's
Good
going
morning. Good
on?
morning. How you doing today,
Morning.
sir?
Right, man. I'm on the wake-up call. Good morning. Bless. How you doing?
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. Thank you for everyone who is with us this morning. Thank you for everyone who will be here. It is December 10th, 2022, and another year that has run away like it has no business. It seemed like it started running. It's been running ever since. What's that song? A long time coming. That's what it sounds like. That's what this year has been like. Been running ever since. All righty, it is. I'm sorry.
I say you waste no time, do you? A long
Of course
time.
not.
It's last night.
Gotta keep them covered. Gotta keep them covered. All right.
Okay.
It is a great day for sports. It's a great day for lots of things going on. So let's go ahead and get to it. First of all, as always, click like, click share. Go on, get on the phone, get on the text. I am somebody telling that Kamau and Felix is back on these internets, and they talking crazy and they talking good stuff, and we want to support them. Like I said, we want to be the soul train of the modern era of this generation. You know, on Saturday morning you get up, you open up your windows, you clean your house, and you have music in the background. Well, we want to be your music in the background while we talk this sports talk and make a lot of good points and a lot of fun stuff as we move forward into 2022 and the 2023 season as well. And as always, we want to start with our topic of the week as selected by you the guest. The topic of the week is the college football playoffs. We have Georgia and Ohio State and Michigan and TCU. It seemed like nobody wanted to win to stay in there. USC went down. Just went down. I have no idea what they were doing. Utah came in and beat them like they stole something.
Absolutely.
And then TCU the next day. They normally a late starting team, and I think that caught up to them because they had that game went down to the wire. I was glad to see that TCU still made it, and they were undefeated, and that allowed Ohio State to slide in as opposed to USC with them having 2 losses and USC having 2 losses and Ohio State only having 1. And we also had a plea for clemency from Alabama and Nick Saban, and he had a good point. He had a good point, but let's start. We're gonna talk about him third. We're gonna start with Ohio State and Georgia going down to the Peach Bowl. Pretty much a home game for Georgia. How do you like? What do you see for that game?
What? I don't know, man, because Ohio State, Ohio State gonna give them a game, but nobody beating Georgia, man. OC, that's a whole nother. Nah, they give them a game, but maybe about 42-28, something like that. Ohio State gonna give them a game now. Man.
I think it'll be a game as well because you got Ohio State, which is a team built for that type of a game, meaning indoor team, fast team, ready to take the punches and roll with the punches. And I think they should be okay. But I definitely see Georgia winning that game. Unfortunately, we won't have that game. It's a midweek game for our schedule, so we had to give our predictions on it on the next show. I think I'm glad that the selection committee did go ahead and select Ohio State, even though Michigan beat them like they stole something, which is still a shock a little bit to me.
Yes, it is.
Honestly, all that week I kept saying I think Michigan gonna win that game. Even when Blake said they was kind of hurt, I still think Michigan gonna win that game. But my game day prediction, I should have stuck with what I thought. And but that's neither here nor there, or here or there nor here. But I like Ohio State giving them a game. In terms of them beating Georgia, never say never. Never say never. They might want to say this is a redemption for them after playing so well, not playing so well against Michigan. But at the end of the day, can they do it? Yes, they can. But will they do it in reality? Probably not. Probably not. All right, then we got the next.
You know what though? Wouldn't it beat them? Like if they beat Georgia, I say, wouldn't that be something though? And then they turn around and get Michigan again in the championship.
Yeah. We talked about. We've discussed 3 times already this year the Big Ten having 2 teams in the college football playoffs. I had a feeling from the beginning of the season that for the first time ever, the Big Ten was going to have 2 teams. So let's see what's happening. I'm not saying that Ohio State can't beat them. They can. But I don't foresee it happening. Georgia hasn't played a lot of tough competition, and I do think that Ohio State will give them a good game. I think that what's the name's going to show up in the office and give them some pointers. What's the boy on Fox, the former coach? I think he's going to show up in the
Urban Meyer's
going to show up and help his buddy. You know, he had some tough words for him after he lost to Michigan, which was kind of surprising because the first thing I said was, "Well, you picked him. What did you?" I understand, you know, you'll be in culture being critical, but you handpicked this guy to take your job, so you can't be too mad.
Well, I mean, because you got to figure, if Urban was there, is that game different?
Oh yeah, because you got a different quality of lineman. The lineman that they've been bringing in since Urban left has not been nowhere near the part of the ones that when Urban was there. So you're looking at a different game from that perspective alone, offensively and defensively. All right, we got Michigan and TCU in Arizona in the Fiesta Bowl. That's the early game, 4:00 Eastern time, which is like 1:00 West Coast time where they're going to be. You got TCU in Michigan. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people really give it credit to. TCU is sort of a resilient team. That's the best way to put it. They're made to go round for round, punch for punch. Excuse me, their defense is decent, but it's not great. They make stops when they need to, but that offense knows how to stay in the game. That offense can throw the ball, and they run that RPO, and they can throw the ball around. So it's going to be an interesting game for both those games. Michigan not having the running game that they really want, even though Donovan Jones, is that his name?
No, Edwards.
Donovan Edwards, excuse me. Donovan Edwards with a broken hand has stepped up and put up about 600 yards in the last couple of games without having Blake Corum there. But most of that's been in the second half. But that's what happens when you throw a punch, counter punch. By the time the third, fourth quarter come around, you're able to go to your strength, and that may happen against TCU. But I'm not ready exactly to make a prediction. I'm leaning towards Michigan on this one. I like TCU. I think TCU is the greatest story so far in college football this year, having gone was it 3-9 last year, 4-8 or something like that. Fired the coach, bring the coach from the other side of the city, literally, and they go 11-1 and make it to the playoffs. I think that's the biggest story so far in college football that's not really being highlighted. But I'm gonna have to think about that. So when we come back on Christmas Eve to give a more in-depth analysis, what you got, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like a toss-up with Ohio State and Michigan. Like what Rocky tell Tommy Gunn, as long as you got two fish, you got a chance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Michigan. I've been saying it all year, man. They not that good. I argue with people at work. I mean, not argue, but we have, they like this team is better than last year's team. I'm like, no, they not. Y'all not that good. Dude, Connecticut, Hawaii, and Western Michigan. Out of conference was trash. I mean, nah, they not that. I'm just TCU can do the upset because they're not that good.
I do think that last year's team is better than this year's team, but you got to measure them. To me, that's almost a little unfair. you got to measure this team up to this year's merits, and could have had a stronger preseason selections, but you know, I'm in favor of playing teams that you can beat and getting that confidence up. So when you get to the Big Ten season, your confidence is there, and you're able to play a little bit better. You know, it's going to get the win.
You say?
Go get that win and pay UConn that $500,000. Go send the bus.
Say, how can you say this team is comparison to this year's team?
Well, I think last year's team for Michigan was better. So even though they lost I'll still say Michigan State got away with that game last year, but Michigan last year was a better team. This team this year is a good team, but nowhere near. I won't say nowhere near, but last year's team was better. But this year's team is playing on their own merits. They're doing what they can with what they have for this year and being successful. And you got to give them credit for that.
And this team is undefeated.
Well, last year they had only lost the one game. They lost the one game to just the state. Michigan. I'm talking about Michigan.
Right. So how is that team better? Last year's team had a loss. They lost to Michigan. This year's team
did. A little luck, a little serendipity, and a little extra money in referee's pocket. Namely the replay official for that first quarter, me being down the quarterback. So hey, you know, it sometimes it happens for you, sometimes it happens against you, and you know, that's the human element of the game. And that's what, to this day, I don't like replay. I'll say that forever. There should not be any replay in any sport. Humans play the game. It should be a human element making the decisions. Sometimes you get it right. Sometimes you get it wrong. I understand people say, well, if you got it there, why not use it to make sure it's right and everything? Yeah, but then why is it all those other years for 60, 70, 80 years before that, those games were just fine with humans making the calls?
Because as the world changes, technology has to change, right? Championships probably wasn't won because of not replay. Probably wasn't won because of replay. You know what I mean? But if you left it like that with no replay, it's a lot of stuff that don't happen. Timeout with Chris Webber, that might not happen because now he's on. You know what I'm saying? The play when
Colorado played the 5 down.
I mean, the 5 downs, right? With Colorado and Missouri, that doesn't happen. The Stanford on the field, that doesn't happen. It's that's a whole bunch of stuff that you could say. Michael Jordan pushing. They said he pushed. What's my man name?
Utah, yeah.
Right, that might not happen. You gotta have replay, man. You don't have stuff that don't happen. You know.
All right. We want to recognize Glenn Witt. Thank you, coming, sir. Good to see you as well. Kevin Hunt and the Glue. Mr. Dewey said specifically he's here to talk about our perspective on the college football playoffs. I hope you were able to hear that, sir. So far, we're saying that we're looking at Georgia winning against Ohio State, but Ohio State making it pretty close. Michigan should win against TCU, but it should be a barn burner, seeing as that TCU has a puncher's chance to win. As always, click like, click share. Don't forget to get the book. Grateful for this journey every day. It is the holiday season. Written by this young man right here, Mr. Marcus Holmes. Go on Amazon and you get it on Prime. You can get it within 24 to 48 hours. Stocking stuffer, a good gift for work. Click like, click share, and don't forget to join our Sports Talk page. We're growing every week, and we want to keep joining the page. We're very, very grateful. And also coming up, we're going to talk about Christmas Eve, how we have our branding going on. We want to make sure we put that so you guys can get merch for yourself, for the children. And yes, that's right. It's funny to see your face on there. And also you can send stars to give to support our giving to families. It's funny. That's what the kids say. Merchandise. We got merch.
You know, every time I hear the merch, you know what I think about? The dude from the Best Man. Merch. Remember that? That's why I always laugh, man, because I was like, merch.
I would not watch Best Man Wedding. The second one, I will not watch that movie ever again. One time, I'm not watching it no more. It was way too emotional. Way too emotional. The first one was good. The second one,
first one or the second one?
The second one. The second one. I'm not watching the second one.
Oh, you thought, okay, yeah. It's gonna be the episodes though. The
one yeah, that is out
when my man get
it's out.
Yeah. Oh, that's out now.
It's coming out soon. You're right. It's coming out soon. But the people that was in the movie are the ones producing it, so it's gonna be pretty true to form.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're gonna move on to the NBA. The NBA's theme today. I want to be free. First of all, we got Brittany Griner is free. She is home, and it was a beautiful thing to see. Did you watch the video of how they released her? When she came out, she was walking this way, and the gentleman, Mr. Bout, was coming this way. He hugged his countryman. Brittany gave him the nod. He looked nowhere near her and went the other way. She went to the left. What I thought was the most interesting part, who did she meet with? Who were those people over there she was talking to? This was on Russian soil. Looked like someone from an Arab country was there to help mitigate that exchange. So it was a multiple countries involved. That's the stuff that they don't talk about, but it's right there in plain view. How multiple countries get involved to make these type of things happen. It's just, with this being the digital I talked about before, how this stuff comes to light. Normally this stuff happens in the dark of night, middle of the day, no cameras. It happens and it keep moving. But with cameras, everybody want to know everything. We don't need to know everything, honestly. All we need to do is see her when she showed up at the press conference. And so that lets you know that all the back channel really are going on stuff like that. So that's the first thing I said when I saw that. I was like, wow, that's interesting that he would be standing there like that. And he was really excited. And but they said they didn't tell her what was going on until she actually got on the plane. So I'm glad that she is home. She made it back yesterday. They haven't. She has to go get her evaluations, mental and physical evaluations, before they'll bring her out. She's with her wife, so I know that they're happy, and so just glad she's free. So I know we talked about it before. We don't need to have those discussions anymore. Was she a political prisoner? What was this? Was it? And at the end of the day, if she was a part of a swap, yeah, there was something definitely politicized going on with it. But the great part is that she's free.
Right.
Any thoughts on that, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that they're saying that she's free, but they're saying, what about the other guy? I was reading about that. Like, the other guy was like, but his family isn't really like mad about it. Brittany is like a, what do you want to call it? Sports figure or whatever. I mean, let's not forget him too. Let's also keep him in our prayers, because I mean, I'm sure he wanted years. You know what I'm saying? She was supposed to do 9, and she only did 300 days. So there's 2 that get home to. But I mean, kudos to the Biden administration, and she's home for the holidays. And the main thing is with this is that from this situation. That's what we hope she really situation. This is nothing to play with, because you're messing with he don't play by he play by his own rules. He make up his own rules. So God all the time, exactly. God is good. So that's my take on it.
Right. And also in the thoughts of being free, Kyrie is free from Nike, and he goes and wears a pair of Nike, puts tape on the side of it, puts on it, I am free. So Kyrie, I'm hoping that he gets some advice from Shaq and the other young man to get his own shoe and make it and own 100% of it and distribute it all around the world. Because I can tell you, volleyball team I coach, they got the Kyrie volleyball edition, and those shoes are not good looking. The Kyries, oh my goodness, I just had to say to myself, I don't know. Sometimes you got to put out an ugly shoe to get a better shoe. I don't know if that's what the case. Maybe this year's edition was, but I wouldn't be mad if I was him that I'm moving on to another company, because those shoes, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I could get them on the clearance rack for $19.99. But in terms of paying the regular cost, no.
At the end of the day, Nike, you didn't. Nike won. You went out your way to put tape on their shoe, yet you still wore their shoe. Who won? Nike.
Yep.
You don't have to do all that. You could just say, I'm free.
Yep.
And put on a pair of Converse, a pair of Adidas. They won. By you making that statement, they won. Sometimes the best reaction is no. That's it. Sometimes the best reaction is no reaction. If that would have been me, I'd have had some Adidas, some Crazy 8, some Kobe.
I would have got me some big baller brands. So I'd have got me some big baller brands.
Are they still in business?
I'm being silly, but of course, there's some still shoes laying around somewhere. If I'm him, I'd have sent him a pair of them, the big baller brands. That's what I would have did.
Kyrie would have been out on big baller brand. He would have been on the IR with a torn Achilles. Man, them shoes was false, man.
He would have came off like a
Zion. Would have came off. He would have came off like Ginobili. He said that one year he writing his Jordan went left. Yeah, Ginobili. Man, for the Spurs.
It's happened before. We want to thank Willie Hembry and Tony Cook for coming out this morning. Thank you. We're discussing our basketball segment. Finish up NBA going into college. Big story so far is that we got Michigan State, and the perennial number one from the beginning of the season. USC not ranked anymore. They are out of the top 25, top 20, top 25. They're still Michigan State's in the top 25, but the other three, Michigan and USC are out of the top 25 totally. What you think is going on here?
I mean, I like basketball right now because it's no thrill, it's no pizzazz, but they're gonna make a difference come March, because that's gonna be either you're gonna be the first four out or the first four in, or you're gonna have to be the play in, which is a 66 team. It's good to have these good little tournaments, and Michigan, they play Kentucky over in London, and that's one thing I will respect about Tom Izzo. He don't run from competition, but when you're not faring too good in these tournaments, I mean, what's the point? Like on the aircraft carrier, and you came home and you beat who did they beat? At one point, you beat who was that? Creighton or somebody? They beat. I forgot who they beat.
Yeah.
They beat. Then you turn around. It's like it's up and down with him. But then when March comes, that's when and I get it. Injuries is part of the game. Malik Hall is out. You still trying to fill out rotations and all that. To me personally, man, stop it, man, because you not your resume not good. You go to the tournament 2 games, and then just like when you showed me, I was like, man, he kissed him. That's what I'm saying. Stop. Concentrate on Big Ten play. That alone, man. Let them go home for the holidays. Because you I get it. Don't do it. Like my mama used to say, why you keep bumping your head across? Don't do it. Right? That's my take on it.
All right. Really quickly, don't forget to click like, click, share, let everybody know that we're here this morning. Felix and I are in the middle of our bass segment, specifically college basketball. Tammy Williams for coming out this morning and supporting us. We do appreciate it. Where I see it, Michigan, I'm surprised, are not in the top 25. I thought that they would have had a good enough team to stay within the top 25 this year. Michigan State, I didn't think that they would have had the early success they had. I'm not surprised that they're playing up and down in the way they are, because where they finished last season with the people who graduated and what they were bringing back, I would have said that they would have improved well enough to make the tournament at the end, but not so much at the beginning. They had those couple flash games early against Kentucky and somebody else where they got put back into the top 25. I think they're doing what I thought they were going to do. So I'm not really surprised about them. But UNC, after going to the national championship game last year, I think they're having a bit of a hangover a little bit, where they got to do a little bit of soul searching and say, hey, what kind of team do we want to be? What's our identity for this year? And that's often hard for teams to do, even professional teams. Teams that go to the Super Bowl, they come back the next year and they don't quite have the same success because it's hard to work that hard, win it or not win it, and still have that same kind of a grind and grit the very next year.
Right.
So it takes a little bit of time for them to come back around. I think UNC is going to be okay because they still play Duke. They still got to play everybody else in the ACC. It's still a great on going through that conference. So I think they're going to be just fine. It's just right now it's going to be, they're a little tougher to me, but I have no doubt in my mind that they turn things around. Hopefully, they should be okay. I'm serious. Hopefully, they should be okay. All right, let's move forward.
Okay.
Let's get to World Cup. Something we normally don't discuss a lot on here is soccer. Our USA team lost in the round of 16 in the Netherlands, 3-1. And I'll be the first to admit I didn't think that they were going to get that far. I've openly said that the men's team should be turning their checks over to the women's team, and the women's team should be giving their checks to the men's team. Why? Because no matter what, the women's team, young, old, they go in there, take care of business. They go to the Final Four, they go to the championship year, and they get nowhere near the pay that the men's team pay. The men's team, this is the first time they made World Cup in over 10, 12 years, and they make a lot of money from those sponsorships. So if the girls are out there earning it, they should earn the money. So the men's team should go ahead one by one and say they should line up one by one across from each other and swap checks because they're the ones out there getting it done year in and year out. No matter who it is, if they got a young team or old team, they still represent in the Olympics, in the World Cup, and the Cup of Americas. With the men's team, they go out there and they look like a city team playing against a suburb team in soccer. Well, the men's team look like the city team against the world. They did good this time. Kudos to them. They keep it going. But for too many years, they've proverbially pooped the poodle internationally. So hopefully they can keep things going. And they played well. They won that one game to get in after a couple ties and stuff. But so kudos to them. I'm just hoping that they sustain that over time. You go through you drive through any suburban city, like right now, north or south, it's a soccer tournament going on. They outside, they inside. It's a tournament going from little kids, 4-year-olds, all the way up to 18s. And right now, so I understand why we don't have the talent to go out there and do it internationally like we should. I know that people are gonna be mad at me for saying that. And I'll take that. We should be better. Our soccer program should be better. I don't understand. We as a kid, I can remember when they first started pushing soccer in the country. My first love was soccer and baseball. I wanted to be Pele. That's how old I am. I wanted to be Pele. It was the best. And the movie came to America called Victory. I remember that movie when they was all in jail, and they had to play the team, and they snuck out. They won the game and still got away anyway, even though they could have left at halftime. They tried to break them out. So that was like some of the first introductions of soccer into the United States. And we would play sideline soccer as kids. So it's been a plan for a long time. We just got to do better. I don't see why not. I don't understand it. I know I done ran, but I got my soapbox. Save me from myself, sir. Save me from myself.
Hey man, I knew about you every other Saturday. You like soccer? You for real?
Yep.
For real?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can go to a soccer match and just love it. I love soccer. I do love soccer.
You will actually go and sit there and watch it?
Yes. Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Well,
a soccer match is one of the craziest things you ever want to go to.
Be the first to tell you, don't call me. I'm not coming.
Well, I'll tell you,
I watch
4 hours of outrageousness. Outrageous fun. 4 hours of outrageous fun. The party in the stands is better than the game. They dancing and singing and beating the drums and blowing the horns. Oh man, it's a great time. It's a great time. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, I've been to some high school games where you had to keep the parents off the field because of a bad call. It's a lot of fun. I'm trying to tell you, and you literally had to have that director keep a certain parents in check so that he won't go out the fool and get the team a red card. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, like I said, I find something new about you. New. I can't even watch it on. The only time I watch it, when I want to see what the midday is. I want to see what the midday lottery is. Hey, I'm being honest. Watch it come across the screen, then I changed the channel.
Wow. Well, we last night we had Croatia upset Brazil in penalty shots. Brazil is like the Yankees. They expect to beat it every year, win it every year. And they lost in the Final Four. Argentina beat the Netherlands 2-2 in penalty kicks. And right now, Morocco and Portugal are playing. And this afternoon, England and France are going to play. So right now, if the team that's still left to win it, if I had to guess, it's either I would like to see France play against Argentina for the championship. That's I would love to see that. A good friend of mine, she's from Portugal. My coworker, she's from Portugal, so I know she's losing her mind right now watching the game, and she's posting everything. I haven't been on Facebook yet. I'm pretty sure she's posted about 1,000 things about the game, and she probably has it on every TV in her house. The game is going on every TV in her house. So good luck to Portugal today, just because of that. So Monica, hope your team wins. And a World Cup some years back when USA played against Portugal, so she had a house divided. Her OA was born in Portugal, and her baby born here in America. And so it was the husband and the baby boy was wearing USA jersey. She and her oldest boy were wearing Portugal jersey. So they survived. They survived. So World Cup is a great thing. I love World Cup. It's the only sport next to baseball that the entire world together, that everybody plays around the world. Of course, you have the Olympics, and then, those are different individual sports. But everybody plays soccer, and next will probably be baseball. So soccer definitely. So this is a great thing. I like the World Cup. We will be hosting. Between the Americas, will be hosting it in 8 years. Canada, USA, and Mexico. They're trying to for the Jerry's World to host the championship game, but Mexico City will host it. Let's see. We shall see. All righty. Once again, don't forget to click like, click share, get on the phone, let people know we are here. That Felix and I are covering all sports, including the World Cup. We're gonna get some hockey in there in the next week. Moving forward, and just thank you for joining our community, and just thank you for everything. We want to say good morning to Massa and Pierce from the Love Stuff community. I hope I'm saying that correct. Miss Chevelle Moore. Good morning, Miss Chevy. Congratulations on that win you guys got the other day and your celebratory dance that you guys made. A good job on that. We also want to send love out to Grant Wall, sports journalist who passed away covering the World Cup. So we want to send condolences out to him and his family. I think I remember seeing that story. I don't want to comment because if I'm saying wrong, but I do remember him passing away. So much love out to his family and the World Cup family for their loss. All right, moving into football. We will start with NFL. Baker Mayfield for the win. Baker Mayfield gets cut by Carolina. The Rams pick him up, and they say activate him. I said to myself, if that boy get on the field, he gonna win. If he get on the field, he gonna win. Because Baker, when he got something to prove, it's hard to beat. But once he get play that game, after that, things get lit up. Right. But every time he got something to prove, you don't bet against So I knew when they said he was activated, and I turned the game on. I literally turned it on the last like few minutes for him to score. He scored that first touchdown. As soon as I turned the game on, it was 10, 6, 16, 10. And then when they got that ball back, I said, oh, man, this boy's about to win this game. Sure enough, dumb penalties, dumb plays, get him down the field, and they scored that touchdown. And it was beautiful out route. He just threw the ball, nice moon shot, put the ball right over the boy's shoulder. Defensive back had no chance, and they went in. And so I'm glad to see Baker did well. It hurts to see that the Rams won that game because they hurt their position for the Lions in terms of the pick that we were going to get from them because they were they weren't getting the number one pick. So hopefully they can stop winning. But that team, all teams in the NFL have too much pride. It's not like the NBA when they start losing on purpose. The NFL, they try to win every game. They don't care. Even if they 1-16, they're gonna try and win. Another 1-15, they're gonna try and go 2-15. So shout out to Baker Mayfield. Did you get a chance to see that, sir?
Nah, you know what? Baker thing, and that's when I seen 16-3. So I was like, man, they about to lose. And then came across the screen. I was watching the Sports Center. I was like, dang, they came back and won. Question though. Okay. Let's say, what are they now? 4-9?
Yep.
I'm 4-9. Okay. So they 4-9 with 4 games to go. They go 7-9 with Baker Mayfield at quarterback. The question is a quarterback controversy.
I don't think so. Everybody knows that it's what's the name's team. It's Pizza Guy's team.
Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford, yeah, I don't think it's a problem. But at the end of the day, it's a good problem. Yeah, you got a good backup. You got a good season backup and for the Rams. I think it was a smart move to pick him up. For the Rams to pick him up.
So this man come in here and he old boy on concussion protocol. Sean McVay, if he go in straight, they finish 7-9. I mean, no, they finish 7 yeah, they finish okay. So then that's a 5-game winning streak.
No,
right?
It'll be 8-9.
There'll be 8-9. Okay, I'm sorry. So then you don't have a quarterback controversy?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Okay,
because
even gets to compete for the starting quarterback job?
Of course, you always have a competition, but
There's your controversy.
I don't think as a team, the team is going to say we want Baker over Matthew Stafford. I don't see that happening. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I don't see it happen.
What you got to lose? You already got a championship with Matt Stafford. You could probably win more if they get a hold of if Sean McVay gets a hold of Baker Mayfield. The way he got a hold of Matt Stafford, the same thing as Geno Smith taking over for Russ in Seattle.
I'm not saying it won't happen, but I just don't foresee it happen. Does Baker Mayfield have the tools to make it happen? Yes. Will his hubris and pride getting there? Maybe not. Maybe this has been a humbling situation going from Cleveland to Carolina to the Rams. Maybe so. I always said that once Baker Mayfield grew up, he was going to be a hell of a quarterback. But until he grew up, he was just going to be 2 games here, 3 games here.
So
under the West End.
Has he grown up?
I don't know. That's the question. I don't know. This has been year 5 for him. To me, this is the time when you as a man, you should be grown. He should be more than his grown self now. I don't know yet. I hope so.
Yeah. This
I hope so.
Guy.
All righty. Giants on season slide. What's going on with the Giants?
Not that good. Like the Wolverines, they're not that good. Look, you got beat. Like you're saying, to piggyback off what you said earlier, you got beat like you Detroit Lions. That's it right there. Your season over right there. That's horrible. To the Lions, man.
All right.
Season over. Season over.
All right, let's tie that in. The Lions are favored over the Vikings. The first time the Lions are favorites was over the Vikings in many, many years. They are a 2-point favorite, 2.5-point favorite over the Vikings. I don't think it holds much water myself. I don't put much stock into it. I don't think I put stock into it, the stock into my food. When I put the stock, the vegetable stock or beef stock or chicken stock, I don't put any stock in the Lions. I'm not, but they're playing well. So to me, I don't know if it's fool's gold or if it's just, or I don't know. So
the sad thing is, man, they're gonna bring him back, man. They're gonna bring this guy back, man.
Coach.
They're gonna bring Dan Campbell back. That's the sad thing about it.
I agree.
It's horrible, man.
I agree. I think Jared Goff is fine for what we need. There's no big time quarterback out there we need to go get out of college right now. Jared Goff is okay for what we need, for what we're doing, and we want to change the offense.
I'm out.
Hold on.
I'm out.
Let me finish. For what we're doing, for what we have, and we're looking to change the offensive style, then I would say change the quarterback. Right now, I think we can. Plus, we're paying him out of money. Unless somebody's gonna take that money off our hands. I say keep on running that contract through, because he's playing well enough. Where if you just don't, if you don't let him go to try and win the game, as long as he manages the game, he's okay. Every time we thought him to go out and win that game, that's when he started throwing interceptions and looking like a nice great JV quarterback.
Okay, so back to your statement. So you said Lamar Jackson becomes available. We don't go get Lamar Jackson here. I knew you was gonna. Scratch your head again.
Oh, that was before you even asked the question. If Lamar Jackson come available, yes, we're going to go get Lamar Jackson. Yes.
Well,
Here's why. Because they want to build through the draft. They make that very, very known. They want to build through the draft. I don't think that the Lions will go out and sign Lamar Jackson if he became available.
Money talks. With the other part that go with that, but money talks. Right.
Yeah, I agree. See what I mean? If I'm the GM, Lamar Jackson comes available, I got a couple extra picks, and we're gonna sign him. We're gonna bring him in, and we're gonna run the offense and bring the players in. Need to. I don't see the Lions doing that. That's why I say, for what we're doing right now, Jared Goff is the guy. If they want to bring in another offensive coordinator and change the tempo and change what we do, then get somebody else.
So the quarterback from Michigan State, he falls late 4th round. You don't pick him up?
Come on, Peyton Thorne?
Yeah. All right, scratch your head again.
No. Here's the thing. I like Peyton Thorne, but to me, he's the free agent pickup. I don't think anybody's going to draft him.
Man, you know what? Take that shirt off, man. You are horrible.
I'm a realist. I am a realist.
So
I'm a realist when it comes to
you say, so you gonna say Peyton Thorne ain't an NFL quarterback?
With development as a free agent. I'm not spending maybe in the last round he can be picked as Mr. Irrelevant, but I'm not picking him with anything higher than the 5th round.
So in the 4th round, you don't pick up the phone and call him and say we pick him.
Depends on who else is out there.
No, that's not the question. That was Peyton Thorne falls to you in the 4th round. You don't pick up the phone and call him?
Probably not.
Hey man, take that shirt off, man. Take that shirt off. You're not no State fan.
He's a good quarterback for college. He's a good quarterback for what we do at Michigan State.
You're not a State. Okay.
I am a State fan, but we talk about the level.
Like you said, okay, we're going to talk, like you said, real reality. Okay. Baker Mayfield, you got cut by the Panthers. You tell him, so what's the difference between Baker? Because he won the Heisman.
Baker Mayfield shown that he can win some games in the NFL. Baker Mayfield that was never. We went to Carolina. That was never a fit. He went there because that's the only team that opportunity. So for him to fall into the Rams and get picked up off of waivers, that's what happened. That's what like we said from the beginning. He should have never left Cleveland. That should have never left Cleveland. He would have had that team until Deshaun Watson got there last week, who played ho-hum. They won, but it was a ho-hum performance. Nothing. He threw a couple interceptions. Nothing to write home about.
Absolutely.
So for him to go down to Carolina, now system didn't fit him. Most players are system players. That system wasn't a good fit. So for him to get cut wasn't a surprise to me because I always knew that wasn't going to be fit for him to begin with. That's all.
Okay. Was Baker Mayfield a good fit here?
In Detroit?
Yeah.
No.
Hey man, take that state shirt off, man.
It's mine.
Off, man.
It's mine. I'm gonna keep it. All right. Moving forward really quickly.
Let me ask you this.
Okay. What's your question? Go.
So it's Peyton Thorne. I gotta keep going. Peyton Thorne right now couldn't be the backup to Goff right now.
I'm not saying he would be. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he would need some good 2-year training as a good backup. Then he could do it. But right now, no. That's why I say he's worth a free agency as opposed to a pick. A pick. The higher up you get that person, the more the expectations are. You bring him in as a free agent, he's not doing the Cooper Rush.
So he's a good he's a good college quarterback.
He's a good college quarterback. That's all he is right now.
Okay. You can keep the shirt now. Okay. All right.
That's all I see with. He's a good college quarterback. All righty. Thank you, Willie Ross, for coming out. Some good games. We got the part 2 of the Battle of Ohio, Cleveland and Cincinnati into this time. We're going to see how much of a different game that is with because you got two perennial quarterbacks now. Philly and the Giants. Philly probably should go in and beat the Giants. And also the has-been will be game again, New England versus Arizona. And I actually see that game being an 11-11 tie. I hate to say that game will be an 11-11 tie. Something about that game I just don't like. Something about that game I just don't like. All righty. It's just a time we need to go quickly get through the college football. We got Heisman Saturday and the Army-Navy game. Stetson Bennett, Max Dugan, CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams. We're going to hold on to that and get the prediction at the end. But today is the game is the announcement. Well, the announcement is 2 hours, and all they really need is 1 hour and 55 minutes to go away. They really just need to just have 5 minutes to announce it. All that stuff around the drives me crazy.
Absolutely.
It should be 5 minutes.
I don't need to know that he didn't start playing football until his sophomore year in high school.
We don't need to know his third grade teacher who wrote him a letter saying how much they love him. We don't need to see all that. All righty. Thank you. We'll take a pause real quickly as we get ready for Stupid Sports News. All righty. Thanks for coming back with us. First thing we'll talk about a girls' basketball fight. George Washington University and TCU girls got into a big brawl. 8 girls ejected. 8 girls ejected. I can tell you from seeing middle school and high school sports, those girls fight way more than the boys. This is one of the first time you see it at the college level, but them girls be throwing them balls. And most times, it gets to the point sometimes you can't even have them shake hands at the end of the game because you done got all kind of elbows thrown in the game. So normally, once they get to the college level, it's not as bad. But yeah, I think I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner because some of those. I'm trying to tell you, the middle school games, the high school games, them girls get in each other's face. The guys will talk junk, and get back on defense and chip at each other, but them girls be ready to fight. I don't get it, but
I ain't even see that.
First
Man. I Google that. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see that.
I haven't seen the fight. It came, with CCU being here in Fort Worth. That came across my, that's something that comes up, because it's Texas stuff. But against George Washington, Washington D.C. versus the Southern Bells at TCU. I thought that was pretty that they got to that fight. But it does not surprise me. Does not surprise me. Thank you, Ms. Valencia, for coming. Ms. Shashika hosting. Two great people, two great reverend doctors in their own right, and the world famous chef to boot. The topic of the day. Well, this is why I put it. It was one of the topics. He became in second. I put this stupid sport news because we got to talk about it. Deion Sanders goes to Colorado. To me, I was hoping that he would stay one more year because I wanted him to go back and see that what is swag against Tennessee State. I wanted to see that. I knew when he got there at some point he was going to leave. A lot of people mad because he left. I can understand that. But Deion is not the type of person who's going to sit back. He let me being down here in Texas, you could see all the time. He would be on the radio, on the morning shows. And he would always talk about he had his goal was to win a couple state championships with his high school team, go to the college level, do well, move to the college ranks, and do well. He says he never wants to coach pro. He's always said that. So it's not surprising to me that he's moving to Colorado. I'm not surprised that he's moved, but I'm a little worried about how he's moved forward to Colorado. I'm a little worried about that. When your first thing out of your mouth when you get there is that transfer portal was here, that's because the bags is packed. I'm bringing my luggage with me. And I know this is a new day and age where you can flip a roster differently than you could in the past. Mm-hmm. But to me, that says a lot about there are going to be kids that are going to be there that's going to want to give $200,000 for Deion Sanders. And I know you got to come in with a plan. There's going to be some diamonds in the rough there that he's going to need. It's almost like you got to if you were a high school coach, you really heavily dependent on your JV program. That JV program got to be strong when you rotate those guys out. So that's sort of like the same thing. What I'm saying for him, there's got to be there. Like, oh, Deion, we ain't going 4-8 no more. We about to go 8-4, 10-2, 12-0, just because of his presence. So for him to say that on the first thing in there, that's the only thing I wasn't like too much. I was hoping that he would stay one more year. And my other thing is, I'm hoping that now he's gone, all the powers that be don't unravel everything he's done, not only for Jackson State, but for all of the HBCUs. There's facilities that's been upgraded, TV contracts are coming, more games on TV. ESPN game day was there, and the girls, the cheerleaders for both teams was behind the correspondence, which was cool. And they were doing it about to laugh out loud at some of the stupid stuff that they kept saying. But I'm hoping that they continue that thing. What's your thoughts, sir?
I know we up against it. So my quick take is, okay, it's a two-way. He put Jackson State on the map. They won the SWAC. They went 12-0 out of Sunshine to the Sunshine State, Jackson State. He did what he was gonna do. Everybody's leaving. His son left. Travis Hunter left. The number that he recruited, he left. He going to Colorado. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to the Pac-12. The other good thing that follows that is who's not there no more. But who else is there? Oregon and what's the name? Stanford. Oregon and Utah. So you're taking two perennial powerhouses. You still got two virtual. You got some competition. He getting athletes.
Okay.
Now, the good thing,
Go ahead.
the other thing is too, we soon to forget who just left from there.
Mel Tucker.
Right. Who is currently where? At Michigan State. So, oh my God, Mel Tucker left Colorado. And when he left, Colorado wasn't in shambles. He had turned it, and then he came to State. He turned State around. Now, I think, not to get off the subject, I think State reward too fast. You know, they gave him the money too fast because they take the money back. But I think Deion gonna do good. But this ain't Deion's last stop. To me, I believe in my heart, I believe he's gonna be the coach at Florida State when it's all said and done.
I agree. This is not his last stop. I agree with you 100% on that. He will be somewhere else soon. Where? Well, put it like this. My point was, it's a 12-team playoff now. All he got to do is beat one, either to go to the playoff, run the table, beat. He ain't got to beat but one of them. He only have to beat either Oregon or Utah. But he can still go to the 12.
Absolutely.
So it's a good positioning move for him as well, in terms of I can do what I want. I can compete for the national championship in this state. Colorado is a great place to recruit. It's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful area, it's not going to be hard to get kids there. The temperature is cold enough yet still warm enough where you can do what you want to do and do what you need to do there. So it's a great spot to be in. So for him to go there, I thought that was a good choice. But it just bothered me how he walked in the door. Because at some point you got to be a little humble. There's no humble in Deion Sanders. I wouldn't have allowed in the first meeting. A lot of y'all gonna be in the transfer portal. I'd have said that in the meetings when you meet with them kids one-on-one. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it then. But the first thing you come in with a smile on your face, we're gonna get things better. The whole ride. But that's not Deion's style. So I hope that he would have done it a little bit different. But that's how it goes. All righty. Once again, thank you, Miss Good Reverend Dr. Miss Edna. She said, "Hey guys, hello to you. Good to see you for coming out. We coming down the stretch. We gonna get to the close. We have a Heisman winner. Who do you see as the winner? Bennett, Dugan, Stroud, or Williams?"
Andre Ware. I mean, my man gonna win it, but I'm not a fan.
Who?
Never have been. I wasn't a fan when he was at Oklahoma. I don't know. It's just something different. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're gonna give it to Williams because that's all they've been talking about is Williams. I would hope that Stetson Bennett would win it. He has quietly went about his way, led that team, done what he's supposed to do. To me, that's my Heisman. Caleb Williams went on. It seems like every time he's on the big stage, every time he has an opportunity to do his best, he don't do so. Of course, they're gonna come back and say he had the hamstring injury. It looked like no hamstring to me. It looked like he didn't read that coverage right. Is what it looks like to me. So we shall see. All right, next we got the Army-Navy game. Who you got for that one?
Give me the midshipman. 31-24.
All righty. I will go. I've already seen Navy play this year. I'm gonna go with Army. I'm gonna go with the Steel Gray. 24-21. Those games are always pretty close. All right, sir. Our next show is December 24th, Christmas Eve. We will be we will be featuring our merchandise for that day as we start moving towards our scholarship show for the Super Bowl. Thank you guys for coming out, and we do appreciate always that you guys come in. Click like, click share, let people know that it's here. You can see the show in review. Have a great weekend and happy holidays to everybody.